Dun. Your chance of setting instant all the slot machines out there today. Yeah. Anyway, happy Sunday. Thank you all very much for coming out. Much appreciated. This is episode 7, I believe. I've only played this for 7 episodes. It seems a lot longer than that, but it's a good thing. We're currently 33 hours, 42 minutes into this playthrough. My first one ever. I don't know where we are. Oh, we're in the big city at the moment doing stuff. We just, well, not just, but a little while back, we finished beating up on the undead in the little tower area. Somebody apparently threw a switch and didn't know what it did, which was keeping all the people from, if somebody died, they come back as a zombie, and then when everybody in the area, if they died, they come back as zombies. But they're not necessarily regular zombies. Depends on their soul, the strength of the soul or something like that. What they did in life, or I don't know. Uh-oh. The steward of Cairneu has received a letter for you. Durgan's Battery. So. I should actually change the order of these guys, shouldn't I?
Watch and learn.
Okay, so did I screw up my formation, though? Or is that based on the character themselves? That is the actual number in the stuff, so that. Okay. So, Gimpy. Wood Elf Rogue, currently 7th level. I think everybody's 7th level. Everyone is 7th level. So, about 2/3 of the way through. Yes, I did buy the DLCs. They were on sale on Steam. I think they still might be. It was like 75% off or something. Basically, I picked up all the DLCs, or actually not all the DLCs, the story-related DLCs, not the fluffy stuff like, PDFs and soundtrack, that kind of stuff. But all the content-related stuff. The DLCs 1 and 2 for Pillars of Eternity 1 I picked up, and there's like 3 of them over for the Pillars of Eternity 2. I picked up all 5 of those for $15 US. And normally, the first DLC, the DLCs for Pillars of Eternity 1 are $15 a piece. So, pricing them out there, I think that's probably a smart way to go. They're on sale. Pick them all up for $15, and we'll be fine. Totally fine. So again, they are probably still on sale on Steam, and I would expect that sale to end probably before Tuesday. My guess. I didn't actually look to see when the sale ended. So, but again, I bought them on Friday. I think I bought them on Friday. So, anyway, Gimpy Rogue. I have no idea how to really build characters in this game, so it's kind of a guess. Although when I was creating a character, somebody said get Perception 18, because if you do, basically don't miss anything. Trying to find anything, you don't miss anything at Perception 18. So, I guess that's okay. Again, I don't know how to build characters. So, anyway, there's Gimpy the Rogue. This is, of course, a DPS, either ranged or melee, depending on the situation. Then we have Ader. He is our fighter. He's the tank. Then we have Aloth, who's a wizard and also mainly DPS, damage dealing. Then we have Durance, who is our priest, our crazy priest, as you can tell by his left eyeball there. He, of course, is doing the buffing and the healing in quotes. Then we have Sagani, our Dwarven Ranger. She's got a pet fox or something. She, of course, is doing mainly range damage. And then we haven't heard this name actually pronounced. So, Aravius, I think that's his name. Druid. Orland, so he's got the funny... He's missing his right ear. Something happened to his right side of his face. He's missing an eye, missing an ear. I think I've heard the story yet. But anyway, Druid, he is doing mainly melee DPS with some spells if support some kind or another. So, also he's as a Druid, he shapeshifts. During combat, he's supposed to shapeshift into this cat-like creature biped, whatever. And, that's where he does his damage as. So there's that. And we're currently in Brackenberry, which is on this nice little island here. We did Heritage Hill in the last thing, and Brackenberry. What are we doing now? I don't know. Where's our quests? Ah, quests. The White March. Oh, this is the DLC related stuff. Say letter blah, blah, blah. The steward believes it may present an interesting opportunity. Speak to the steward. That's our steward, right? A whistling in the reeds. In the Amaxil Plains, Zakin Lake is renowned for the beautiful flowers that grow along its banks for several weeks every spring. Local farmers harvest flowers. There's a lot of reading. After several more abductions took place at the lake, Kana discovered that a previously unknown beast was behind the attacks. A strange red beetle would grab the locals and feed on their worst memories. Though victims would initially fight back, they would quickly enter a blissful state and drop their resistance. Unfortunately, the beetle would eventually devour all their memories, leaving their minds vacant and broken off from the world. Kana was able to track the beetle to its nest and kill it. The locals were relieved to hear... Oh, this is the mission that Kana was on, our bard. He's our 7th member. So this is the quest he was actually working on, I think. So anyway, he picked up some experience, some money, and an average item, which is a red reed wand. Properties. Not sure how that works for us. Okay, so here's our status stuff. Nothing new to report. Whistling in the reeds completed. Yeah, okay, so there's the quest. Nothing new to report. Tanks is lost. To bandits earns 400, so we need money there. Nothing new to report. Hireling payday. Total wages paid 600 CP. So, money. Stronghold actions. Palace messenger. So how do I deal with that person? And we're currently building a dungeon finished in 10 hours. Must be at the stronghold. So, how do I deal with the palace messenger? Or is that something I have to even worry about? I'm confused. Okay. Letter has arrived. The steward believes it may present an interesting opportunity. Speak to the steward. So I guess I have to go back to the castle. Yeah, I have to go back all the way to the castle. Task. Missing sentries. What's this one? Wyla Justiciar in the Crucible Knights has had several of her novitiates standing guard outside Heritage Hill go missing under mysterious circumstances. I finished this. I've dealt with Lyra, and she will no longer trouble the Crucible Knights or anyone else in Heritage Hill. I should go to Crucible Keep in the first fires and tell Wyler what happened. Blade to the end of this path. The great ancient weapon has been dismantled. Its pieces thrown blah. I need to find the pieces to the sword, which are underneath our castle. Maybe we can do that. Oh, wait a minute. We went pretty far in last week. We got to the point there was a fight that was kicking the crap out of us, or was going to kick the crap out of us, because it looked really tough. So maybe we'll take a look at that when we hit level 8. I don't know. That'll be a while. Scattered Faith. Travel to the Records Archive. We'll find out the circumstances of his brother's death in Defiance Bay. Might travel at Saints' War of the Saints' War in the Ducal Palace. Durant stuff. Time and Tide. And pass a sealed door which barred passage into the lower region of the Endless Paths. That's underneath us. Or that's in our base. The Master Below, same thing. Long hunt. Travel to the lifts you saw at the Vision. Have a look at them. The breeze smelled salty. The cliffs near an ocean. The deep ruts on the road suggested heavy wagon traffic. This place can't be far from a big city, of course. Two-sided. Find an expert of the awakening somewhere in Defiance Bay. It's another vision-related thing. So, the sanitarium. Cinders of Faith. It's a long journey, but at least I know where it is now. Built the Last. Dunstan. Criswell Keek stuff. So, where are we now? Instrumental, blah, blah, blah. There's our sanitarium right up there. Since we're here. Everyone go. Carrying out with this procedure, her soul would be returned intact, more or less. Oh, that sounds encouraging.
Show him how.
Oh, shit. That was not what I was supposed to be doing. I don't know why that was set to attack. Did I hit the wrong button? I hit the wrong button. That's a good start. Gotta remember to not keep my hands on the keyboard, because we hit buttons we shouldn't be touching. There we go. Speak with Heel Warden Altima if you wish to make an appointment with one of our animancers. Who's Nedden?
Hail and well met.
A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-known tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you so busy with? Tell me about yourself. What are you busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and are out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're finally attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spite of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Wyden's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put it into practice. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pangram. It contains research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy of the Elder Archives. Theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships a whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. It's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. She sighs. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. Anything else? I have some questions about the theorems of Pangram. Such as, tell me about them. Why doesn't Grimda lend you the books you need? The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rather protective of its books, especially the rarer ones, and Grimda in particular. She hates animancy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in the Dyrwood and be so adverse to the spread of knowledge and research, but I've never understood these religious types. The skulls at the Animancer. Such knowledge is best kept under lock and key. I'd like to know about the Hall of Revealed Mystics. You'll find it in the Copper Lane district. It's dedicated to the God of Secrets and Revelations. Most importantly, it houses the largest and most expansive library in the Dyrwood. What are the Elder Archives? The Elder Archives hold the rarest, most arcane, and most powerful text in the Dyrwood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grimda's permission to enter. Tell me about the theorem. Pangram was an animancer working in the Dyrwood. He had some interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial to say the least, but many are starting to realize that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean by degenerating? Nedrin twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh, living, soul-infused flesh. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses, attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to avoid that. And you wonder why Grimda won't share this research with you. That sounds like necromancy. Nonsense. Necromancy is magic. This is science. She emphasizes the last word. That's all I wanted to ask. Tell me about yourself. I'm an animancer at the sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Waiden's legacy. We know about that already. Sorry. Waiden's actually refers to the rise of the Hollowborn children of the Deerwood, blah, blah, blah. We already knew this stuff. I don't much care for the term Waiden's legacy. It reeks of superstition, and it's too prevalent to change at this point. Personally, I like to see people take a more methodical approach to these matters rather than throwing up their hands and blaming the gods. Necromancy. Definitely not necromancy, but it's necromancy. Don't think Derwoodens would see too much fun in that. Leave you alone. Sanitarium.
Sure.
We want to go in the sanitarium, right? Sounds fun. It's where all the cool kids hang out, against their will. Tables is set with an assortment of leaflets and booklets with the booklets like the title of Practical Benefits of Animancy and Soul Adjustment for the Well-Adjusted Soul. See? Totally fine. Erna. Engineer, you feel a vibrant history commented in essence. Oh, stupid. Wasn't paying attention to the thing. That's a Kickstarter backer. Oh, look at all the live shelves. Yeah, poetry companion. Sure, why not? Nobody seems to be against it, so the most unfortunate tale of Favia and Burnin, a valiant tragedy. See, nobody seems to mind. That is a Kickstarter backer too. Again, I wish they would make this a little bit more noticeable. There's just too many of these people to distract you. Psalm to Wotica. The Midwife's Memoirs. Sure, that's good. Animancy in the Modern Age. Yep, definitely not necromancy. This man's soul was torn asunder by a Bewak, big creature thing that tried to kill us early. Saint Waden, farmer become God. You can see the patient is unresponsive. The answer places a small stone upon the patient's forehead. Is he moving? A portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We used this stone to whatever. Can you hear me, Oswin? No. No, I can't hear you. The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Dictator Kodo, welcome to the stream, and thank you. Unfortunately, the extended dissociation has permanent side effects. The patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. Skyward, welcome back. With further research, we're confident we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. Yep, definitely not necromancy.
How do you do?
Bald man with a crooked nose gestures in demonstration over the still body of a patient before a small gathering of interested onlookers. Feeling your gaze, he pauses his discussion. Have you come to sit in? I'd like to know more about this sanitarium. Gives an eager nod. It's the mission that attracted me here. The treatment of the disturbed. No one else seems to care about them. Here, they've worked wonders for them. I've seen people cured of insatiable hungers and uncontrollable urges. I've seen the crippled walk and this dysphoric smile, all within these walls. The thought that the Duke could put an end to it with a single order keeps me up at nights. That?
Hail and well met.
What does he do here? Closest we are to the Galfathan Wilds. Now we get a number of blank blot about maimings every year. Survivors dealing with complications from exposure. This fellow here is a severe case. His essence is a mere whisper of what it was. I'm early in my research, only beginning to understand how they work, but in time I hope to find a way to protect people from the storm's effects.
Good day, stranger.
Do you know anything about awakenings? I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise. You suck then. Hey, Flug, welcome back. Happy Sunday. Table set with an assortment of leaflets, booklets titled like blah, blah, blah. So. Okay, who's doing what in here? Nothing. Those look like the field sketches of Ingwithan ruins and artifacts. Dear Customs. Pretty sure we have a copy of that. Sometimes we get people in here trying to make trouble for the Animancers. I wonder why that is. This painting of a rolling forest glen has a strangely soothing effect. Downstairs. Why are we going downstairs? Why aren't we going upstairs? The animancy stuff in this game reminds you of Arcanum's light and dark necromancy. One is healing, the other is raising the dead. What's the difference?
Hail and well met.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Excozy. Here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ack, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those souls who have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gillard, who is it? Alice lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. Oh, that's right. He's the one that's got a soul that sometimes takes over. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adirans are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aleph by the shoulders and steers him into the couch. And try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you'll not be relaxing. Indeed, his eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aleph's forehead and wrists. As she ratcheted them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long, cambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Adra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. Does mean we'll get to talk to Islamir more. I like that lady. She raises a finger. First, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Islamir is the one inside Aloth. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child in the Sithwood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him to the mists of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thanes family, but I always know when she was coming home. Father's battles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of tempers become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her Heimneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. This is good. I am starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because she is around. She is usually only angry with her. Oh, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles. That my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at the flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Medicho, whatever that's supposed to mean. Belisage furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it, quickly. I almost have it. Skippy needs to talk to me real quick. Be right back. She's telling me that she's waiting for Ronka to fall asleep so that she can go visit her parents. They go, well, that shouldn't take too long. He goes, but he keeps waking up. Oh, I go, yeah, because he doesn't trust you. He knows you're going to leave him. Okay, so squeeze his hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Shake him by his shoulders. Aloth, you've got to wake up. This is just a memory. It isn't real. Slap him. It's just a memory. It isn't real. Alice's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. And what about those rattles you see in the space twixt your ears? They real enough for you? Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something is spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that crips down your gut when crisis is nigh. Bofeto. We have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob on her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Aloth, ask Islamir what she's doing. Islamir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Alice's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, good. She rests from her scribbling and only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist. Quill still in hand. Go on. Alof, what's this about ceding space to Islemere? Islemere, what exactly are you taking from him? Not more than I'm giving. You should ask what I did and that odd man. I hate when they do shit like this. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. As I said, jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Now I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with you. And damned if I let your Ninian drag us both through this scupper. Very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Islemere's essence through the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right, around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. Note that the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aleph blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. Sagani's eyes are wide and innocent. Are wide and it should be and innocent? It does seem as though she's got one thing right. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? Islemere manifests when Aleph is in danger or under pressure. Get close. I think Islemere's appearance are related to potential sources of trouble for Aleph. Diplomatic. Too diplomatic. Belsage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aleph. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belsage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Try to take control of you when she thinks you can face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. It seems that Islemere steps in when she determines that you are in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or a hindrance. Hear her out. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. He scowls, but you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Gimpy. He does not look at Belsage. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you, as it has been for me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Revua Fentra Aleph. Anyway, experience. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belsage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aleph is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes widen, imploring, "Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense." No, you get your explanation and she gets her research. That was the deal. Leave me out of this. Fair enough, but do it quietly. I can't let you do that, but after hearing so much about this, it means to her. We'll do the deceptive thing. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Ta-da. The strange device seems to thrum with power. It's just missing some stuff in it or near it now. Modred. Animancer scribbles furiously on a parchment scroll with his free hand, while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Good day to you.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. What are you working on? My area of focus is wicks. More specifically, how to cure them. What's a wick? A hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. He stares at a fixed point on the far wall. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because, at first, it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty. That's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous, but we paid dearly for our mistake. I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. Why do you study wicks? He huffs. What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? His face has reddened, and he turns away from you for a moment. He shakes his head. Animacy has an answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. I see. Good. He looks eager to return to his work. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. I hear that Valiant woman studies them. You should go talk to her instead. Just looking around. Then be quick about it and don't touch anything. The sanitarium has a lax visitor policy, but I don't. Without another word, he resumes his work. Looks like we're going to be borrowing something. Just saying. And by we mean Gimpy. Maddox, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream.
Easy does it.
He just sees me straight out. Bastard.
I'll take a peek.
Scanite scripture. Save before I do that. Been caught stealing. Oh no. The corner of Modred's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. Examine more closely. The lack of dust on the trunk surface and the long scratches on the tile flooring suggest that the trunk is frequently used and moves throughout the laboratory despite its considerable size. Deep yet narrow gouges score the wood at the edges of the trunk. They look like claw marks. Open the trunk. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break, and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You'll need to find the key. So, do you have the key?
Hail, traveler.
So no key here. This will require a proper key. So where do I find the proper key? Somebody's got to be hiding it. The edges of the cage are dented and scored
take a
with
look.
claw marks. Oh. So who do we see about the key?
Light, flame, and sound. Keep to ourselves. And what does the flame reveal?
Fire, burning, pain. So where do you find a key? There was no other places really to explore here, was there?
I'll take a look.
Guessing I'm supposed to find a key somewhere else. Because there's no real places to explore here. Okay. Let's get out of here. Move on with our lives. Okay, we also needed to go visit First Fires, I think is what it was, right? The Crucible Knights. I think they're somewhere in this area. Ducal Palace, Crucible Keep. That's where we want to go. Okay, so we're supposed to talk to... Do that still. Ducal Palace thing, tries to Durats. That's not it. The cave from Frankersford, that's where we're actually there, right? No. Dunstan is waiting for them. Okay, so he's in here somewhere. Where's Dunstan? See, I think he's at the forge. Too many people to keep track of. Jesse, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. There's Dunstan.
I suppose Cleavers sent you down here to get me working on those Forge Knights, eh?
Given Vianna's research, I think this is what you've been looking for.
That's what Cleaver's been looking for anyway. If you found it, I guess I've got to start.
Stuff, experience. You don't sound too happy about this. I'm not, and I've made it clear to Cliver that this is a mistake. Trying to harness souls like this, it's a crime against the gods, and it's bound to earn us more trouble than it saves. But Cliver's given me his orders, so I've got to build these things as best I can. Anyway, Cliver's told me I'm to sell you any arms or armor you might want. You won't find anything better in Defiance Bay, I can promise you that.
Now, time to see if that Valian was worth all that blood and copper.
He takes a polished breastplate and goes to work.
I'll be damned. To be honest, even I wasn't expecting it to work this well. Back to it. Cleaver will want me to finish the rest of them. And it sounded like he has a job for you, too.
Now what you've got for sale? The White Spire. So enchanted. Nice S-Stock. Let's see. So it's disorienting. Measure damage. Damage or bypasses 5 damage resistance. Looks disoriented for 5 seconds on a hit. Grants Blizzard 3 per rest. Blizzard per rest. Okay. It's not a bad sword for 9 grand. Fine stuff. Thought he said we wouldn't find anything better. Just calling it fine doesn't make it that good. Ooh, heavy armor. Shot in faith. Spell holding consecrated ground, whatever that does. Storing energy and liveliness to wear Mormorous over a period of time. Endurance. Want some actual healing stuff. Hey, Despair, welcome back. How many hours of gameplay do you have? 30 something? You're going too slow because you're reading everything you find. Well, that's fine. It's not a rush, is it? If you're enjoying what you're doing, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to do it. I'm not trying to go through as fast as I can either, so. The only person we have using a two-handed weapon, I think, is the bard who is not here. That's the druid. Single player game, take your time, enjoy the experience. Exactly. 64 hours, and you're slightly behind you. I think at least I didn't visit that place. Well, the thing is that you can go. I mean, there's no straight lines, right, to get anywhere really, because it's just whatever way you feel like going at the time. So it's not something to worry about. Dawn's Pledge. When did I get this? Ability to shield the wearer from the myriad perils that plague the world of Leora. An aspect of the god. I get this. God represents the harvest of old age, symbolized here by the many blah. Youngs from being harvested before their time. Dawn's Pledge. Just endurance. Oops.
Oops. Is that all you can say? That was really poorly done.
Yeah. Okay, I knew it. Some of it, not all of it. I think I'm down to like level 7 or 8 of the dungeon. Then I had to stop because it looked like that stuff was going to be a little too rough for us at the level we were at the time. Where's the armor? This is heavy armor, sturdy. Plus 30 defense against prone attacks, plus 15 defense against push attacks. Damage reduction against freeze, plus 4 damage reduction. DR 14 already. So that's what he's wearing right now. +1 to move speed. Recovery is only -50. Same difference. +10 deflection against range. +1 to constitution. So this is actually better. Oh, but why is the value different? Maybe some move speed. Maybe that too. It's just weird. 640 versus 740, but this one looks better. How much are you? 4,800 or 17,000, so we'll take that. The gloves, Schadenfaith. So Schadenfaith, consecrated ground is 2.5 meter radius from the caster, duration for 30 seconds. Endurance over time. They're not bad boots. The gloves. Damage reduction against burning. Grants Firebrand. Firebrand is 3 per rest. Summon a weapon, Firebrand. Oh, the fire sword. Use something. Well, how would you want to use that for? This disorientating is nice. On a hit.
Hello Gimpy, it is time to take a break. Go get some more water while you are up.
But nobody in the group right now would use it.
This break supports the purchase of Rocket's treats. If you would like to help Rocket feel like a puppy again, please visit gimpyknee.com/support, or you can watch the ads during the break, or you can type !treats in chat. Thank you. Your next break is in 1 hour.
This is all the stuff we can sell. This is just a regular scepter. Fine warbow. So this is all stuff that we don't need. Hats, we don't need the hats. So I made 8 grand out of it. And you get that. Oh, wait a minute, that's not the right thing, is it? That's his old armor. He wants that one. Giant miniature space piglet. Gee, I wonder where that guy idea came from. I didn't even know we picked this up. Follows you dutifully and requires nothing in return save companionship. Gimpy wants that as a pet. Instead of this thing. He wants a little space piglet, or whatever it's supposed to be. Giant miniature space piglet. It is a space piglet. So. This arcane dampener, 1 per rest, +1 to intellect. What rings are you usually currently wearing? Deflection 5. Overseeing. This is the bigger area effect for his stuff. What's this actually do? Arcane dampener. 2.5 meter radius. Beneficial effects suspended for 15 seconds. Accuracy 10. Not sure what we'd be using that for. you got room for that. Skimpy's got 2 rings. You've got 2. You've got 2. You've got 2. You've got none. I won't give that to you for that. Probably won't get a whole lot of use out of it, but this is a necklace. That's a scroll. Okay, so is giving the priest heavier armor a good idea? Second chance. So he gets knocked unconscious, he stands back up again. He's currently wearing that. So he's got a burn resistance of 12. Actually, it's higher, isn't it? Technically 15. Is that how that works? Who else gets beat up a lot? You're doing okay. I think the druid's okay too. Oh well. Think about that when I get back from break. I think we're good for now. Okay, need to get up, stretch my legs, get your monitor, go check on Rocket, see how he's doing, because Mrs. Gimpy has abandoned him, but I don't think he knows it yet, because he's sleeping, but gotta verify. Be back in a few minutes. Thank you all very much for watching. Be back shortly. Enjoy the dog video.